Hello, this is Dr. Chris. I am a accelerated healing specialist, an acupuncturist, hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, health coach, life coach, transformational coach. It's all the same thing in the end. And that's what I'm here to tell you. You're not here by mistake. So my own battle with depression, my own battle with anxiety, all this stuff. I question why I'm here, if I should be here, etc. We are here because we are each given unique gifts. We are each given certain challenges that we get to meet in this lifetime, certain ways we get to experience this plane, certain growth opportunities, ways of engaging in life, opportunities to give back, opportunities to appreciate. Because I know a lot of you are thinking, I'm a mistake. My life is a mistake. I'm not happy. You're not going to be happy until you decide to be happy. You're not going to be happy until you realize the miracle that you are. Yes, each one of you, even the ones that I don't particularly enjoy spending time with, you are in your own growth arc. Right now, we're mixing like oil and water, so we do not necessarily have a compatibility. And there's not that many because I really try to get out of the way and be of service. But I'm just letting you know, even if you're not everyone's cup of tea, doesn't mean you're not perfectly you. That's something I've been finding out for myself. There is this book, and I'm just going to say it. I cannot take it anymore when I'm watching people, and all anyone ever does is beat around what they're actually saying because they don't want to step on a toe, hurt feelings, or whatever. The book is The Body Keeps the Score, and I may have mentioned it before. This is a book that I had recommended to patients because I firmly believe in the premise of the book, which is the somatic holding of trauma and belief systems. When we're under stress, our bodies tighten. We become unhappy. We become constrained. The energetic becomes very tight. We get put into our prison. So I've been recommending this book, The Body Keeps the Score, because people had recommended it to me. Seemed like a pretty good idea. I had done a lot of work in related areas, so I was very resonant with what it was talking about, and it was a fantastic time. Until I read the book. And it's amazing. I've spoken with a couple of people about this. Now, some people love this book, other people hate it. It's written by a therapist, and therapists are trained to go into the trauma. That's it's one of their superpowers. So this book is written and it goes into the trauma deep. I'm listening to this thing on audiobook, and I was speaking with a friend the other day about it, and she said, yeah, when it's on audiobook, it's like you're really being assaulted because you can't just skim. It's just right there. So the it's written by the therapist. One of his patients was in Vietnam and some bad stuff happened. He lost his good friend, and then he did a lot of very, very, very bad things that are described in graphic detail. And I'm hoping that throughout the book, we're going to get techniques to help to clear this, to accelerate it, et cetera, et cetera. Instead, it just seems to keep going deeper and deeper into the trauma. I'm like, I skipped forward. I'm listening. I'm like, good God, this book is like, I don't want to bring that energetic into my life. Now, I'm bringing this up because that is a very unpopular take. This book is held in very high esteem in a lot of communities. And here I am just burning it because for me, it's not a resonance. I'm not saying it's a bad book. I don't know if I've been clear about that. It's not a bad book. It's not good for me. And it's not good for a lot of other people. And it's being able to understand, and this is relatively new, this is part of my happiness. It's not a beauty contest. I'm not trying to be like, ooh, look at how awesome I am that I like the book that everyone else likes, or look at how well read, or etc. Instead, when I looked at it and I read it, and it's sitting somewhere I may pick it up later to gather information from, I put it down. There's another great book. I started it. There's deep foundational conflicts with other stuff I'm working on. So um, it's something about thinking and whatever. It's a creation book. It's 1,000 pages. It's older, but there's some foundational conflicts with other work that I'm doing, and I know myself, if I am holding deep conflict in two different ideologies that I'm studying, I can't serve two masters. So I had to put it down. Probably will pick it up later. It's got a lot of great information, but I'd rather not have to put myself in the position of reconciling. I'd rather be able to learn and master something and then find how the shoe fits than to force myself into it. And a lot of us, once we start something, like, good God, how many times have you started a TV show and you're about 4 episodes in, you're like, this sucks? Or even worse, season 2 comes on. The first 2 episodes are awesome. And then the third episode, and then the fourth, and we don't turn away. We just stay there watching this horrible show because we've already started it. So I'm not afraid to walk away. I'm not afraid to say, hey, enough is enough. We're not doing this. And when I started giving myself that permission, when I started giving myself the permission that experts can be right in certain things, I may not even agree with them, or they may be wrong, even in their own field. Sometimes the herd mentality can push, and then the pushback happens, and then we find our happy center. But I've learned to trust my own guidance and my own comfort, and that's put me in a much happier place. Doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that I'm comfortable holding my own counsel. It means that I'm honoring where I'm coming from. I may still have to learn, but I'm going to honor where I come from. So, honor who we are. You are not here by mistake. That is the entire purpose of this video. I know I'm beating around the bush, but you're not here by mistake. There's no mistakes. You're here to follow that path, that destiny, that beautiful. And I can't tell you what it is. I may be able to help you find it, but I cannot tell you what it is because I don't know. A lot of times I'm working with clients, I'm working with patients. I will say exactly what's right for where they are in their life. It's not my fault that I do that. It's because I'm just sort of speaking stream of consciousness, and that's what they need to hear. And it may not even be what I say, but how they process it. That's exactly perfect for where their consciousness is at that moment, because it's not me, it is them. They are perfectly where they are supposed to be. So what do? We look for where the resistance is. The resistance is the pain. And one of the powerful techniques that's nothing's completely, largely overlooked, is the technique of feeling into our body for where the tension is and being able to lie down or sit down to breathe into it, to really feel it and to uncover it, to stretch. There's so many people right now on social media posting how to release fascia. So the fascia acts to store memory in the body. I don't know how this happens. It always ends up becoming a full circle. The fascia stores the memory in the body. The body keeps the score, but you don't have to read that whole book. There's piezoelectric, there's all this other stuff pertaining to the fascia. It's kind of a long-term memory system. Bones are an even longer-term memory system. Their crystallization in there. They can all be reprogrammed. But the depth we need to go into belief systems for them is a little bit different than a more superficial reprogramming of a belief system. So what do? Recently, big fan of box breathing. I love it. So simplest box breathing, and you can geek out on breath work, and you can do it with someone else. I like to go with simple, and that's only because I know myself and I know my patients. Some people want every detail, they want to nail every detail, they want to do it perfectly. There is no actual perfect, there's what's perfect for you, and usually we can get close to it. And that would be the more nuanced part. But it's kind of like when we're learning to run, first we have to walk. We have to get the basic bipedal motion down, and then we can start accelerating it, making it more fancy, and then eventually doing parkour. It's kind of like that with all of these other techniques. So I like to go with the simple box, and someone's going to tell you, well, we should do the 7, 8, 9. And if you do that, then you hit the highest spiritual plane and you stay there and blah, blah, blah. That's awesome. Go for that ride. Whatever feels right to you. I'm giving you the simplest because from here you set the foundation. Once you have the foundation and you realize what it feels like and how it benefits you, then you can start stacking on top of it with the nuance, and that fine tuning is going to drive you deeper and deeper. But first get the pattern of it down. First get the connection to it down. First get the benefit. If you're going to invest that type of time, you want to know it's going to work. So, the way I recommend box breathing, and I like to stack, meaning I just gave you an entire thing about how I don't want to make it crazy. Box breathing. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold, and it's a count to 4. So it's 4, 4, 4, 4. And just keep doing that. That is a super powerful vagal tone technique. Vagal tone is to help modulate and regulate fight or flight, rest and digest. So it helps to put us into the place of healing. It helps to calm the nervous system. We are way overstimulated. So, and I'm one to talk. I just had a big old cup of coffee. So, if you want to take it farther, and this is what I like to do. See, there's also alternate nostril breathing. And it says to, press like that and then press like that. That does not resonate with me because I'm doing a hand dance and I'm sure there's benefits to doing it that way. I press on my nostrils. I don't have to do anything hokey pokey, turn myself around. So if I wanted to combine them, I would do in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, 4. So this, because alternate nostril breathing, our bodies change the side that we breathe on every 2 hours. It activates different parts of our brain and different parts of our physiology. So when we hijack the system, it's not the right word, when we play with the system, we begin to also affect that vagal tone. So when we combine the two of these, it's a very powerful technique for dropping into deeper states of consciousness easily and quickly. This is fantastic for all the people that say, I can't meditate. This is phenomenal for all the people that say, I just lay in bed staring at the ceiling, I can't go to sleep. This wasn't my intent for this video, but it's where I landed. So I'm going to do one last anecdote, and I'm going to make a separate video on this too. I work with a lot of people who would be successful, and I was speaking with someone recently, and this man has a successful business and he's at the tail end of that career, and he's looking to possibly move on and this and that, and he's depressed. I'm like, why are you depressed? He says, well, I'm comparing myself to everyone else. And I'm like, are you really comparing yourself to them, or are you comparing yourself to what they're showing the public as them? And as we got into the discussion, so many people look up to him and admire him and want to be like him because the image that he's portraying is what they want. And through that connection, he began to see what he's holding envy for in other people, he already has. And the other people may or may not. That may be their Instagram story. And for him to focus on that gratitude of what he has, to allow that to grow through his heart, to let go of that scarcity, that envy, and to recognize the abundance and the love that he has. And this was like, getting up to bat and hitting a grand slam. It was exactly where he was in his consciousness. Again, I don't do this. It's just sort of where the conversation went. But it helped him to connect to what had been holding him back for all of these years. And that's really focus on the gifts, focus on the gratitude, focus on the abundance, focus on the miracle. We are in Such a beautiful world, and it took me a very, very, very long time to see this. But it's really always been there, and I was pushing it away with my fears, doubts, false beliefs, and this nonsense, believing this rational mind to be right and putting the miracles in a box as if that's not real. I had it backwards. Anyway, I hope this touches one of you. I'm sure it'll touch a lot more. So, Dr. Chris, I am an accelerated healing specialist. What that means is I don't follow the standard protocol. I'm aware of it. I can use it when necessary, but generally, I meet people exactly where they are. They give me what they need, and I reflect it back to them. So, where they may have been stuck or where other forms of help have not been able to connect, oftentimes I'll help to illuminate where their resistance is, where the hidden patterns are that keep sabotaging them. Once that's seen, then the healing begins, then the recovery begins, then the love for oneself, for one's world begins, and that gets reflected back. It's like an infinity mirror. Guys, thanks for watching. Links are below, and if you want to get in touch with me, it's all right there. Like and share, tell your friends. If you have any questions, my information's right there. Please reach out and we'll have a conversation. Have a great day.